Okay, so it's July the 13th, it's a Sunday, and normally every Sunday I go and see my partner or boyfriend or whatever you call it, and we spend the day together or the afternoon, and we spend the night together. And that's the only night that we spend together. We don't spend any more nights together during the week. And we've been together now in an exclusive relationship for 3 years. Actually, the 6th of July was our anniversary, so to say. But we don't live together, and that's one of my biggest regrets. But I will talk about it, at another stage or whatever, because there's a lot to it, and it's not that simple. It's not that easy. It's not easy to explain why. Um, yeah. So because when we first met, when we went on our first date, that was actually the 6th of July 2022, so 3 years ago. After the first date, I I wasn't really that much into him. I found that he was quite a nice person. He was respectful. He was polite. He was quite handsome, and there was nothing wrong with him. But I just, I wasn't attracted to him. Let's put it that way. And that was strange because maybe I didn't know I was attracted to him, because I remember that when we parted, when I went to my car, he went his own way. Um, I felt all of a sudden I felt this electricity between us, and it was it was something very powerful, like a very powerful thing, and that has never happened to me with anyone. But I didn't make anything out of it at the time. I thought it was just one of these things, something happened and maybe had nothing to do with it. But yeah, so when I got home that day, I thought about it, and I wasn't really too sure, but I thought, well, I can't really be bothered trying to, pursue this, and maybe I don't even want to be in a relationship. Maybe I don't know. I wasn't sure about what I wanted. So I texted him and said, look, thank you for the date. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed our walk. I enjoyed our talk. It was very, very, very interesting and very nice. And you're obviously a very kind and caring person. And yeah, and I said, you're very handsome. You've got everything going for you. But unfortunately, I'm not really, at this stage, I'm not interested in going on another date. And he texted back, and I was very surprised, because he said, oh, I really liked you, and I was really hoping to see you again. And he sounded very disappointed. And I thought, no one's ever said that to me. No one's ever said, oh, I really liked you, and I was hoping that we'd see each other again. Because normally, what my experience was, if you say to someone, oh, I don't really want to see you again, they say, oh yeah, okay, fine, and that's it. You don't hear from them again. But that was really nice, and I think the way he put it and the way he expressed it himself was really nice. I said, why not? I really want to. First I said to him, look, let me think about this. Give me a couple of weeks, and I'll get back to you. But then after a few days, I realized that, yeah, he is a really nice person, and he is a single dad, so that means that he is caring, because a man who cares for his children is, already that's a green flag for me, because narcissists, they don't want to look after that. They claim that they have, a good relationship with their kids, or that they want to see their kids or whatever, but they do it more to manipulate their exes, or to inflate their egos, but in reality they're not really interested in the responsibility. So let me just adjust that a little bit. So yeah, so I thought to myself, look, he's not really my type. He's a bit weird. He's a bit, not my bit nerdy, yeah, a bit nerdy. I thought he was very nerdy and not really a sense of humor. He didn't really make me laugh or anything, and normally I like that. I like when someone makes me smile or makes me laugh, but he didn't. And I mean, to this day, we don't share a sense of humor. We don't have that kind of banter and that kind of very, very rarely. I mean, it happens occasionally, but it's rare. Yeah, it's not really what our relationship is about, and it's not based on that. So yeah, so I said to myself, I've had two failed marriages, and both were very problematic people. So maybe I am always attracted to the wrong type, and maybe I should go with this because he's not my type. So maybe, maybe that's a good sign. That was my reasoning, and I thought, well, yeah, let's give it a go. And so after a few days, I texted him. I said, yes, I do want to see you again. And I think he was very happy. He was very happy. He was a bit surprised. I think he didn't think I was going to get back to him that quickly. And he said yes. And straight away he organized another date. And we went to the river. And we, this time we had lunch at a restaurant. And yeah, it was really, really nice. It was a sunny day, a sunny winter day, one of these really nice days when the sun shines, the sky's blue, and it's not too cold. It's quite quite pleasant out there, and there was a bit of there's a lot of green and a lot of nature around the river, so we could go for a nice walk there, and yeah, it was really lovely. So. And after that, I got to know him a little bit better because we talked about all sorts of things and I liked him a bit better. So I agreed then to a third date, and that day we went to a shopping center. I mean, it doesn't sound like a very, a very glamorous date, shopping center, but we have some really nice shopping centers here in our city, and people do that. People meet at shopping centers because it's just one of those things, and I didn't mind. I had to buy a present for my granddaughter who was coming over on a short holiday visit from America with my oldest son and his wife. So I said yes, why not? So we met at the shopping center, and same thing. We had a nice walk around the shopping center, and we had a hot chocolate at one of the cafes there, which was really nice. And then after a while, I think, at one stage he took my hand, and I'd let him take my hand, and I felt fine with that, and it felt really nice. And then after about an hour, he walked me back to my car, and then before saying goodbye, we kissed. So that was really, really nice. And then I left, and I was really quite happy because the kiss was very nice. It was a nice kiss. It was really, really, really beautiful. And I felt a lot of emotions during that kiss. And I think he must have felt the same, because then he said, oh, I shouldn't have left you. Maybe we should have gone to the beach. It was such a nice day. We could have gone to the beach and spent some time there. And I said, oh, it doesn't matter. We can have another, we can get together another day. And then I think our fourth date was a movie. It was the Elvis movie that came out at that time. And to be honest, I wasn't really interested in the movie. I was just interested in him. But we did the right thing, and we watched it. And then and before that we went to before we went out to the movies, we went to this burger place near the beach, and we walked right up to the beach, and he kissed me there, and it was really, really nice. It was really wonderful, and I really enjoyed kissing him and feeling his arms around me and things like that. And so I could already tell that I liked him a lot. I liked him a lot better than when I first met him. So and I felt physically attracted to him. So yeah, and then came the movie date, and I think that happened on a Saturday. Was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was a Saturday. But then we saw each other again on I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and yeah, and that I went to his place, and yes, we were intimate, and it was really, really good. It was really great, and yeah, and I fell for him very, very quickly, because after that we started seeing each other regularly, and yeah, so very quickly I fell for him, and I was very happy to. I didn't know if we were going to stay together or anything. I didn't know if he was my perfect match or anything, but I just felt very, very good with him, and but I soon made it clear that I wanted a proper relationship. I didn't want something casual, and he knew that, and he knew. He even said, "You're a very serious person," and yeah. So anyway, there's a lot more to it, but during the first year we had our ups and downs. We actually broke up twice. Once he broke up. No, yeah, he broke up with me, but then after a couple of days we were back together, and then I once broke up with him, and I was back together with him the next day. I realized I'd made a mistake, and it wasn't what I wanted. So I think these were like it took a long time for. I mean, the relationship we have now is really nice. It's not perfect in every sense, due to the fact that we don't live together, and he has no plans of ever us moving in together, unless, who knows what happens down the track. But we're definitely in a committed relationship now, and it's really, it's changed my life a lot. It's changed my life, and we have been able to get along really well. We've never had an argument. We always, manage to talk things through when we have a disagreement, or I'm not sure about what he thinks, or he's not sure about what I'm thinking, and yeah. So whatever we have has evolved a lot in a positive way, and quite. I mean, recently, I don't know how, if you could call that recently, since Christmas, he's actually been saying "I love you," and I was saying it way before, but he was uncomfortable, and he told me I'm uncomfortable saying it back, and I said that's fine. It doesn't bother me. If I say it and you don't say it back, this is the way it is. So it didn't bother me. It made me sad. It often made me sad, because I thought maybe he's never gonna say "I love you," and I was wishing so much that he did, but eventually he did. He did, and that was around I think it was in December or January, and yeah. So since then, our relationship has grown a lot more, and we're a lot closer now, and yeah, and also I achieved a lot of things in the last couple 2 or 3 years. I achieved a lot, because I was in a rental for a while, and when I left my ex, I was in a rental. I was actually in a rental for a year, in a rental property, but then I got my payout from the divorce, and I also had some savings, and small inheritance from my mum, and putting all that together, I managed to buy a place, and this is a place I'm in now. This is my home, and so that was a big step for me, and it's a lot closer geographically. It's a lot closer to my partner than where I was before, so instead of having to drive for 45 minutes, I just have to drive for like, 20 minutes at the most, and it's much closer, so that makes it a bit easier. And yeah, it's a lovely home, and my youngest daughter is still living with me, and also one of my sons. He wasn't doing too well. He was at his dad's living there, and wasn't going too well. So last year, was it last year? Yeah, I think last year he moved back in with me, and but he's paying, he's paying his way, and he's a really good son. But yeah, anyway, this is just what I wanted to talk about. There's a lot more to talk about, and a lot more to go into detail about. So I will talk about these things. I just want to get used to talking in front of a camera again, because I find it. It's not the easiest thing to do, and it's just something I want to get used to, and because I get a lot out of it, just sharing my thoughts, and expressing myself, and having this, having this record of, that day in my life, what was going on. Also, one of my daughters, she came over. She lives in the country. She lives in Gibson, that's near Esperance, and she came over with her little daughter, another grandchild, and we spent a few days together. And she handed over her daughter to the biological dad, and for the school holidays. So her little girl is going to spend some time with her dad, just a week, and yeah, that was really, really nice. So I was really, really happy to see her, and it really went well. So that's what's been happening, and yeah, we got on really, really well. It was really lovely. So yeah, right now I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get ready to go. So I don't know when I'll be back. I'll probably try to do something this week and try to talk more about what's been happening. Okay. Anyway, bye.